Gonna Go Pizza presents SCP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam Wilde.
Gentlemen.
What?
Gentlemen, we have passionate listeners.
We do, don't we?
We have really passionate listeners. And I appreciate that because there's a lot of shows out there, a lot of things out there that have no passion behind them.
Wait.
And there's nothing worse than being on a show that has zero passion behind it. No. Listen, I'm saying that so I can tell you a story.
Uh-oh.
I have a story.
I want to hear it.
I would like to tell you about my birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Belated.
And, you know, Steve and Jesse both, you know, big hugs and I got phone calls. It was beautiful from both of you.
I sang to you.
Yeah, actually, you and Mrs. Dangle called me and sang to me. And this trust me, this has something to do with hockey, okay?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Like, I didn't even say that.
I know, but I just
no
want
one was thinking it.
This is how passionate our listeners are. And I posted this yesterday on my Instagram account. It's a picture of me and my girlfriend. And I said, the most special thing about my birthday for me is that it marks the anniversary of the day that I met the love of my life. Two birthdays ago, I walked into the distillery district, fashionably late, to a date with someone who was totally out of my league. And I put in brackets, I may have been partying the night before. She didn't seem to mind the fact that I was a little late, nor the fact that she was and still definitely is out of my league. And ever since, it's been a kind of all-encompassing, incredible, yell it from the rooftop love that I never thought possible. Happy anniversary, Caprice. You are the best part of my day. And
first of all, wrong. I am. Sorry, Jesse. We are. Second of all, that is the sweetest thing. You took a day that is supposed to be your day, and you made it about her.
Well, I mean, it was the day that we met, and I think you can't.
Oh my goodness.
You can't not mention that.
We're all missing the main part of that story here.
Well,
Adam had nothing better to do on his birthday.
It was a Sunday. We partied the night before. You were at that party.
Hang out with him.
You were there.
He had nothing. He was like,
I had pictures. Both of you were there.
Might as well go on a Tinder
Steve was
date.
working. Steve was working. You were working Hockey Night in Canada.
Oh, I might have been there.
I think you were. Yeah. You were the only one who could make it, but I believe SL was there.
Oh, good.
Mrs. Dangle was there.
So she contributed to
it.
But this is how Tinder date on my birthday.
This is how passionate our listeners are. Can you wager? Just take a wild stab in the dark. What our listeners posted underneath the photo of the caption about my girlfriend and our 2 years of love together. What do you think people said?
Adam, how heartfelt, what a loving boyfriend you are.
No. The comment was, by the way, Duncan Keith has been horrible this year, looking lackadaisical in his own zone and never picking up anyone in front of the net. Seabrook played lights out all season, and I'm appalled that he's not nominated for the Norris. So if the Hawks live and die with Keith, they're already dead.
Well, yeah.
Thank you, C. Bishop 6, for understanding where I was going with that post. I really appreciate it. And then Jesse commented right under him, not missing a beat, doubt he doesn't deserve a Norris.
Which he doesn't.
Jesse's a savage. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you to our listeners, and of course, C Bishop 6, C_Bishop 6. If you want to see that comment, it is actually on my Instagram. So
what a guy. Hey, you know what? The same passion you show for your girlfriend, he shows for his opinion of Brent Seabrook.
Brent Seabrook and Duncan Keith. Let us not forget that he hates Duncan Keith. Duncan Keith is his ex. Seabrook is his new thing.
More like no teeth Keith.
Swear.
I always say.
Yeah. I'm always talking about.
So this birthday, did you meet some people you met on Kijiji? Just because to keep up tradition.
You're funny. Because my girlfriend and I met on Tinder. Yeah. LOLs, Jesse.
Okay,
LOLs.
just wondering.
Okay. No, it's fine.
Those are very different meetups, Jesse.
Yeah, it's true.
Those
Misconnections.
are not the same kind. Those are not okay.
Remind me, too, in the download portion of this show, when we're not on the radio, I have a story about Sid 60.
Oh.
An interesting, funny story that I just found out today about Sid 60.
Terrible transition. I can't wait to hear it.
But in the meantime, that's called a tease, son. Let's talk about the playoffs, shall we?
Yay!
Christmas! The first round.
Christmas.
The first round is the best.
The first round is a utter hurricane.
Yes.
You couldn't possibly pay attention to it all.
You ever been to a demolition derby?
Sunday. 16 teams, 8 series competing for one cup.
They're amazing. Now, I'm not talking about a monster truck rally. I'm talking about guys with old cars demoing them. They just smash into each other. You ever been to one of these things?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So basically, they line up face to face, and here's how they start. They go smash into each other, and they back up, and then smash again, and then they drive around and smash each other, and the one that can still drive at the end of it all wins. And I love that the playoffs feel like that to me.
With a Capitals logo on the hood.
Yes. So last night, St. Louis beat Chicago 1-0 in overtime.
Sort of.
We had Pittsburgh in the New York Rangers. Pittsburgh won 5-2, and Tampa Bay Lightning 3-2 over Detroit, because that's the way it should be.
Wow.
I was really upset.
Jesse disagrees.
I was really upset. And by the way,
Detroit going to the conference final.
I changed that, actually.
What?
I have Florida knocking them off next round.
Whoa, so you have Florida going to the conference finals?
Yeah, versus Washington.
Wow.
So Yager against his old team.
I also picked...
yeah, because that's how he's known. Yager, the Washington Capital.
He was there a while, okay.
Oh, ask Caps fans about Jaromir Yager.
So is it like...
That might be the only fan base in the league that doesn't actually like him.
Is that like the Messier and the Canucks?
Oh, you know what? That's actually a pretty decent comparison.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, both happened around the same time. Jesse, you were going to say something?
Oh, I also took San Jose to knock off the Kings first round.
Wow, you flip-flopped twice.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I was like, make a couple changes.
Don't ever go into American politics. They frown on that sort of thing.
I'm pretty sure he should absolutely go into American politics and all politics.
So what do we think about last night's game? We're going to start with St. Louis and Chicago. 1-0 win. It was a battle. And by the way, by C. Bishop 6's logic, Chicago should have won because Duncan Keith wasn't playing and therefore holding the Blackhawks back.
Absolutely.
But no.
Well, and on top of that, the Blues were at home. Mm-hmm. Home ice advantage.
Because there's no place like St. Louis.
No. But if you want to disagree with C. Bishop 6 and say that Duncan Keith is, incredibly valuable.
That would be really reaching.
It would be reaching a bit. You would say that the Blues have to win game one. Home ice advantage. Chicago's Conn Smythe winner from last year is not playing. It is gift wrapped for the St. Louis Blues, and they get outshot to holy hell and squeak out an overtime win by bouncing the puck off of a Chicago defenseman's skate.
Now, of all the picks that Jesse flip-flops on, I'm surprised that is not the pick.
I almost did myself.
Both of you.
Nope.
Now, is that the one, Steve, you were saying on the way up here when we were talking, is that the one you're feeling the least confident in right now?
Yeah. The fact that they had that much trouble on home ice with a Keithless Blackhawks team, no good. No good. They did get the win. They're up 1-0, but they got to beat them 3 more times.
And twice in Chicago.
And twice not necessarily, but they do have to play them. They don't have to win.
No, they don't have to win. You're right.
They ought to. They certainly ought to.
I asked the question on Twitter last night if we should give Brian Elliott the Conn Smythe already.
Probably.
Yeah.
That sounds fair.
I mean, he beat the Chicago Blackhawks once in the playoffs. That's for that. You know what? When he retires, that can be his Twitter bio.
Exactly. I don't see anything unreasonable about that.
I don't see it. No, absolutely not.
Well, and we got Hockey Night in Canada on the TV here, and we got Don Cherry showing stick blades going through goalie masks.
Amazing.
Which, should that be a transition to the Rangers Penguins?
I think it's a beautiful one. Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. We had Pittsburgh beating up on New York last night 5-2.
Yes.
And now, what is now the battle of the backups?
It's a backup versus a backup. Last year's Chicago backup.
Wow.
That made sense, believe it or not.
It did. No, totally.
Zatkoff for the Penguins is the third string goalie. Looked spectacular in that game. And then Antti Ranta had to step in for Henrik Lundqvist. To me, the story of the game was not how Lundqvist got a stick to the eye, but how he and the team responded to it. So he gets Mark Stahl's stick in the eye, goes through his mask. It was a big scare. There's only about 45 seconds left in the first period in a scoreless game, I think. He's, kicking the ice in so much pain, writhing. Trainer comes out, tapping his eye, wiping away all the blood, putting Visine in there, squirting in a whole Gatorade bottle of Visine. There's 45 seconds left. Put in the goalie with 2 good eyes and finish the period. And if you can't do that, well, maybe you deserve to get scored on anyway. What do? They leave Lundqvist in. It's 1-0 Penguins.
At the end of the first.
At the end of the first. You know, I know it's the playoffs. And you got to play hurt. You got to be tough to win it all. I'm Mark Madden for some reason. No one knows more about eyeballs than I do. I'm a super genius, a hockey expert, and an optometrist. You POS. I don't know why they left him in. They shouldn't ought to left him in. Yes, Adam.
I already warned Steve and Jesse before this that I am so tired because I had the flu this weekend and I've been coughing and I can't sleep. And so I've got the giggles. I'm sorry. And that was really good.
Malkin comes back for game 2.
Oh, he does? Oh, I thought he was out much longer than that.
Oh, but that is like Duncan Keith coming back. That's just going to hinder them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Then they got to take, they already won with that lineup. This is what kills me about sports. I love this about sports. Really great player is finally healthy and ready to return to the lineup, but no, the team's already on a winning streak. Do you mess with that chemistry?
Do you want to be good with Nick Bonino or bad with Evgeny Malkin? It's like figure it out, you pigeons. It's like figure it out.
Smarten up, bud.
I'm pretty sure he had a pretty sweet assist, Nick Bonino. Everyone on the Penguins, I think, had a point.
It was Benito.
No.
Not giving you that. No,
not gonna give it to him.
Go back to the drawing
I
table.
think you should have given me that one. That was come on. Anyway,
you know what's great? Adam says the joke. He's looking at me while he says it. I look at Jesse like survey says.
Yeah.
And Jesse comes up 0.
Jesse's a tough audience, though. If it was just you in here, that might have had a shot.
Absolutely not.
Okay, fine. And then Tampa Bay and Detroit.
That was probably the nastiest of the games. Justin Abdelkader hitting everything. It's funny. They showed a pack. They're like, here's him getting physical. And I'm like, 2 of those are penalties. So he was a little too over the top. I think
Great chart,
yeah. And then Jonathan Drouin was also being a pesky McPesk, pest. And I think he had 2 penalties as well. But, both guys were making themselves known out there. And Tampa almost won the game on a beautiful Victor Hedman blast, but it was called back because of Drouin going offside. But about a minute later, they take the lead, and they hold on to it.
We need a big light-up neon sign in here that says, I told you so. And then every time...
I told you so?
Yeah, every time one of us is right about something, we can light up the I told you so thing. and then fireworks go off. Because... who did you just mention played for Tampa last night in the playoffs?
Jonathan Drouin.
Told you so! Ha! Thank you.
You gotta let Adam have
it. Yeah, thank you. You didn't give me Benito, but I think we can take that one, right?
Well, because this is a fact that you predicted, whereas the other was a bad joke.
All right, fine.
Was Benito so bad that it cancels out his I told you so?
No! You can't cancel out a fact. Get it?
Yeah.
No. Joke for joke, maybe.
You know what? Only because it was the long job there. Like Adam predicted this a while ago. I'll give it to him based on time.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Time heals all garbage jokes.
Thank you. So then tonight...
I love you, friend.
So then tonight we've got 4 games. We got the Caps and Flyers, Islanders, Panthers, Stars, Wild, Kings, Sharks. Now...
Wow. We'll know the results of all of these before the show is up.
Yeah, so
Except for King Sharks, which will undoubtedly go to triple overtime.
Of course. I was just going to say, that's just going to be a war, right?
Death, taxes, and teams in Pacific time zones going to overtime.
Yep, absolutely. And
Always.
So since everybody's going to know the outcome by the time they hear this, Caps and Flyers... just tell me. You don't even have to tell me a score.
Yes.
How do you think the game is going to go? Tell me some characteristics of the game. You don't have to tell me even who wins. Just what events might happen.
Give me some adjectives.
Yeah. Narratives.
Silky. Velvety. Adam almost spit up his...
And I'm the one who sits by the control board, so that'd be bad.
I think, for as chippy as Detroit and Tampa was, and that was a nasty, nasty game, I think this is going to be a violent series.
Flyers, Caps?
Yeah, that either team will be lucky to get out of alive. Wayne Simmons is going to be in there because he can't not be in there. Alex Ovechkin, I predict someone's going to try to lay a huge hit on him, and they're just going to kind of bounce off Ovechkin because he's built like a Jeep.
That's a perfect way, like when you see him just normally walking in jeans. Like, remember he was in that Russian rap video a few years ago?
Yeah, and you're like, oh, there's a regular person.
And then there's
Alex Ovechkin.
Alex Ovechkin, right. Yeah, because we never, I think us normies, us norm peeps.
Us norms.
The norm core, if you will. We always see athletes with their heads, right? In the post-game scrum. You basically see their heads.
And even on the ice, they're all wearing shoulder pads. They all look like RoboCop.
Yeah. But like if football players and basketball players, you can tell that those guys are just bigger, right? Because all the mics are like craning to get up to them, right? Like and the cameras. But hockey players are about normal size. Baseball players about normal size. But when you get next to an actual hockey player, you notice.
I stood next to Zdeno Chara in September. That is, cool. I'm not like him. I don't think we should go to the if I get sick and he gets sick, we shouldn't go to the same doctor.
No.
Different stuff should fix him. He's not a human being. He's something else.
Have you ever heard the theory about? And this is total sidetrack, but what other the next race on Earth will do when they unearth Shaq's skeleton and Danny DeVito's skeleton?
I'm fairly certain I'm the one who brought that to the show.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Steve.
Oh, okay. Well, I've actually read that too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the DeVito Shaq theory.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, here's two different things.
Two different things.
And here's this 5 foot tall person and this 7 foot whatever Shaq was had a hand on a basketball in the 90s.
Yes.
Here's the different thing.
We all had that basketball.
Of course we
That
did.
was the key basketball they had. But anyway.
It's going to be a violent series, and it's going to be up to, I think Mike Newverth's still out, so it's going to be up to Steve Mason to face the whole beast.
Islanders-Panthers, who Jesse now thinks the Islanders are not going to get through to the second round. I think that
I
was
had always picked Florida to get through the
Had
first
you?
round.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
You know what?
For the Islanders.
Florida, I think, is a better team. What?
Just
What'd you say?
Nobody should be playing in Brooklyn. It's not a hockey arena. Get out.
Okay, there, Masai Ujiri.
If you don't have an arena, you shouldn't host hockey.
I like that. That was a good reference. I got that.
Because one time he
No,
got
we'll
up
give
on
you that.
stage
It was
and he
good.
said a swear.
It was good.
Okay. Florida, I think, is a better team, a more skilled team
How is that possible?
because of the youngins.
But the Islanders have done such a great job of bringing. Everybody's talking about the Islanders up
they're-
until this season.
They're bit a bit by the injury bug. That and no halak.
It's just funny.
Yeah.
And I know Detroit. I know Florida has drafted extraordinarily well, but it's just funny that the idea that the Florida Panthers would be a better hockey team already than the New York Islanders.
And by the way, tanking doesn't work. LOL.
Yeah.
Florida is a better team, but I think they're going to get a rude awakening in game one. It's like I said before, even if the younger team is favored based on skill and basically every number out there, they get a physical rude awakening very often. We've seen it too many times in sports. So I think the Islanders are going to really take it to the Panthers, win or lose.
Minnesota versus formerly Minnesota.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
Who
I had
Stars
to override my head to start my sentence.
Stars and Wild. What do we think?
Stars are going to win that game. Stars are going to win that game. Stars are going to win that series.
I had a Minnesota fan, Minneapolis St. Paul fan, reach out and say that he can't wait for the Wild to get swept. He's like,
Why?
Because he thinks that Chuck Fletcher has screwed up the team so badly that they need an awakening. Like, you need to stop winning because you don't deserve what you have received. And
Dude, they made the playoffs. They got 2 home playoff games minimum of playoff revenue. They won. Look at what the Avalanche spent on playoff rentals. Look at what the Bruins spent on playoff rentals. And they didn't even make the playoffs. And they barely even looked like they had a really... Well, okay, the Bruins are a different beast. They kind of choked. But the Avalanche, they were always kind of a fringy... had a fringe chance of making the playoffs. Those 2 games of playoff revenue...
Did anybody think that?
I thought they had a chance. But those 2 games of playoff revenue, we forget about it because we're in rich pay $14 million for players not to play Forest Land. But teams live and die for those 2 playoff games, and they got him. So, haha, he wins. Fletcher wins.
And the last one, and we mentioned it before already on the show, Kings and Sharks. What's the narrative that comes out of that? Triple overtime, first off.
First off, because Martin Jones leaves the game and James Reimer just stands on his head and becomes the first goalie in playoff history to score a overtime playoff winner.
I hate to be the guy to bring this up, but if you're the San Jose Sharks, knowing what James went through, are you the team that picks him up?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What does that mean?
I think you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean.
I mean,
Are you saying bad things about James?
Listen, all I'm saying is that, it was 4-1.
Yeah, Adam.
Would you be surprised if a lightning bolt came down and killed Adam Wild?
No, because James is a forgiving goalie.
Okay.
I think he will show Adam mercy.
James even would have laughed at that because that's a joke.
Of course he would have laughed at that because he's Ned Flanders on skates, Adam. He's a blessed, beautiful young boy. How dare you? How dare you? I was born 3 days before him. You know why? So I could be his big brother and protect him.
Listen, I wasn't getting enough.
Like you.
I wasn't getting enough hate on the internet, so I thought I'd rile the people back up again.
That was rude.
That was rude. You picked on the nice kid who never bothered anybody.
I also picked on the Sharks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Knowing full and well that he is the beating heart of the San Jose Sharks. I don't care about Patrick Marleau, Joe Thornton. Those guys are marginal. It's all about James Reimer.
It's all about James. And,
think of the power he gives them, even from the bench. No, you didn't think of that, did you?
I didn't think.
I wag my spoon at you, sir. I am holding a spoon and wagging it. I'm so upset. Yes, you pick up James. Did you see the toe save he made on Patrice Bergeron? Did you see the toe save? Fight me.
Okay, fine. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know what happened in my head. It was like, I have to say this. I don't even believe what I'm about to say, but I need to say this to see the reaction.
I need to turn the garbage disposal on reverse.
Before we go to break, I just want to mention that Phil Kessel's condo here in Toronto. I saw him at this condo because I lived in this building. Only I lived in the poor section. Because there's the poor section of College Park, and then there's the rich section.
When did you live there?
I lived at, remember college in my little apartment at college.
That's where Kessel lived?
Yeah, but not in that. I lived in the poor section above the mall.
No, I know
he
that.
lived in the rich section that stretches way into the.
Oh, that's not where I thought he lived at all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think I've talked about it on this show before, a long time ago. But I remember seeing him drive in his SUV to the rich people parking side as well.
Adam, valet, please.
Valet, right? Of course. But yeah, he sold his condo here. It took him a year, and to be fair, condos in this price bracket usually take about a year to sell. It sold for $500,000 less than he was asking. So
heavens to Betsy, what's he going to do for money?
I know he only made like $400,000 profit on it for the entire time that he owned it.
Oh my goodness!
Because he bought it for 3.1 and sold it for 3.5.
Only $400,000 profit. By the way, he's making 3 times that from the Leafs.
Adam. Yes, yeah, right.
Were you the buyer?
I was not the buyer. No.
Okay.
Hey, I had to look at the apartment though. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty cool.
I guess.
Panoramic of the whole city. He had a pool table. He had a sweet video game setup and leather couches, which are, I don't know what it is. I don't know why my girlfriend hates on leather couches so much, but my mother hates them. My stepmother hates them. My girlfriend, they are the best leather couches, man.
Jesse's showing me the pictures. Like, okay, it is, first of all, it's enormous in Toronto, which is already
hard.
Nuts. The video game setup is nuts. The fact that he has room to roam around outside in the sky is nuts. But Adam's like, leather couches.
Leather couches,
that's
man.
Luxury.
Well, if I want to play video games, I want to play them on leather couches. It's just
I like the seat in his shower. I've always appreciated a nice sit down in my shower.
Who does that?
People with expensive seats in the
or I guess people who have to.
Sit down in... No, I've seen them.
People who are bored.
But like, who sits? I don't want to sit. And also, the seats in the sit-down showers are always cold because they're made of stone.
Yeah, but that's why you warm it up with your rich people hot water.
Yeah.
You sit there, you get clean, you enjoy your hot dog, and you go about your day. I like him. I like Phil.
One thing I noticed that Phil Kessel's condo was missing was a place to fish. I mean, where is he supposed to do that in the off season? Because that's all he does, right?
And a TV tuned into every sports station.
By the way, I just want to throw this out there. We love Phil Kessel. Those were all jokes. Don't hate us. And we'll be right back on Sportsnet 590 The Fan because we still have to talk about Kadri and Rielly, which happened yesterday, which is crazy because there's so much that has happened since.
Wow. Or 2 days ago, depending on when you're listening. What?
So Morgan Rielly is going to be a Toronto Maple Leaf conceivably for the next 6 years. 6 years.
Woo! Oh, there's more?
$5 million a year. So my math tells me that's a $30 million contract.
You are correct.
My math also tells me that Nazem Kadri got $27 million-ish. No, 27. 28.
I am too dumb
because he got a 6-year deal at 4.5. That'd be 28.
Hey.
So there was a lot of people who were like, Morgan Rielly, yay, Nazem Kadri, nay.
A lot of people were saying that.
A lot of people. I think both deals are great.
That's because they are, Adam.
Why are both deals great? Why are both deals actually great?
They bought UFA years, which people have a hard time grasping sometimes. But Morgan Rielly, when he hits unrestricted free agency, especially in 4 years, if he keeps going at the pace he's going, is going to be worth a lot more than $5 million. And Nazem Kadri, I mean, most people are like, he's not a number one. All right, fine. Can we all agree that he's a number two? I feel like most people, even his detractors, agree he's a decent number two option, right? A decent number two center in the NHL is worth about $4.5 million. In fact, I'd say that's probably good. A lot of number twos in this league are kind of failed number ones who make a lot of money. $4.5 million is great. And guess what? He'd be making a lot more in unrestricted free agency, which he is going to hit in 2 years, but the Leafs bought 4 of them. 4.
Mm-hmm.
If he continues at even the pace he had this season, he'd still make $5 or $6 million bucks, especially with inflation. Look what Dave Bolin got. He got $5.5 million bucks. What?
But Steve,
Dave Bolin?
But what team does Dave Bolin play for?
The playoff-bound Florida Panthers. So what do I know?
So, I mean, clearly Dave Bolin brings that X factor, the intangible, if you will.
You are right. You are
Dave Bolin
right.
is a playoff guy.
I keep going back to Filppula, and people keep getting upset at me. But
Do they?
Yeah, because they're like, bring up Filppula again, Steve. But like, whatever. He's my comparable. Okay, he makes $5 million bucks. Kadri, go on Cap Geek. Or, well, you can't. Go on General Manager. I know. Shoot.
Go on Ask Jeeves.
I still say Cap Geek all the time.
DancingHamster.com.
Listen.
Use your MySpace. Get the word out there.
I am going to go on Newgrounds.com and forget about you guys.
Oh, Newgrounds. Good times.
Go on General Manager. Go to centers, look at what the centers make, and try going to page 2. Oh, there you go, Jesse. So I know for a fact, once you get to page 2, you get to see Kadri's comparables, because it's all people making slightly under 6 to just above 4. I would take Kadri over the vast majority of these guys. There's a handful of Tyler Seguins and John Tavares, which, by the way,
that doesn't count.
The Bruins signed Seguin to one of the best deals in the league and then traded him away. And by the way, the guy in charge of fixing the Oilers did that. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out there. John Tavares makes under 6 too. That's unbelievable. Jesse, you want to read some of those names?
Who make under 6?
Yes, and say their amount too.
Patrick Elias, 40-year-old Patrick Elias.
Well, okay. That's
Okay, well,
5.5.
We'll give him a mulligan there.
John Tavares.
Yes,
5.5.
very good. Very good,
Jeff
very deserving.
Carter, 5.2.
Very deserving.
Ryan Kessler, $5 million.
You could argue deserving.
Yeah, but
he's
next
about
year-
to get more.
Next year,
Isn't it
right?
6.8?
Yeah.
Or something?
Something
Oh my God.
crazy.
Sam Gagner, 4.8.
Ew.
Brian
What?
Gable.
So Kadri just signed.
Sam Gagner?
He just signed for less than Sam Gagner.
Where is Sam Gagner even playing?
Philly still.
He's all right.
Yeah.
He's had a bit of a bounce back, but
Brian Little, 4.7.
Say I like Brian Little.
yeah,
Tyler Ennis, 4.6.
yeah, I like Tyler Ennis.
David Backus, 4.5.
That's a sweetheart deal. Damn.
How about this one? Brooks Like,
Yeah.
4.5.
Well, at the time,
Kadri signed for Brooks like money.
26-year-old Craig Smith makes 4.2.
that's right, from the Predators.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
the camera is off, Jesse, just so you know.
Steve, you can keep going with these numbers while I fix that.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, the point is, I mean, you get the picture. Kadri is I'd say pretty fair value. RJ Umberger is on this list. Vincent LeCavalier is on this list. Mike Fisher is on this list. Tyler Bozak is on this list. Here's one I didn't expect to see, and we'll end here. Mark Savard.
Oh,
Yes, because by the way, he's still getting paid.
by who? Still Boston?
I want to say Panthers now, actually. I think he got traded to Florida. Sorry, we have someone sitting in on the podcast with us, and everything I was unsure of, he's just like, yes.
Yeah, his name's Matt, and it's actually really good because Matt's a huge sports fan. He's going to York University. He wants to be you, Steve. But what's great about Matt is like he's like a fact checker with his head. I didn't realize this, but like we're talking, and every time something is okay, he can't even hold back. It's just a nod. There's a hardcore nod going on.
Confirmed.
So Matt's in the background.
Hashtag confirmed.
Yeah.
With everything. So guys, Kadri is making good money. And okay, I said this in the video that I did about him on Sportsnet's YouTube channel, which I encourage you to check out. But a few years ago in 2013, the lockout shortened year, a friend of mine wrote an article called Nazem Kadri's Regression and Why It Will Happen. And it was basically Kadri was shooting the lights out. His shooting percentage was way too high. His on-ice shooting percentage was way too high. Every shot he took went in the net. Every person he passed to, their shots went in the net, which is, Lupul had a super high shooting percentage that year as well. You could argue, well, it was Randy Carlisle's system that did that, or they got kind of lucky. And he was right. And coincidentally, this writer actually now works for the Leafs stats department. But using his same logic, because, he wasn't dissing Kadri there. But by that same logic, Kadri was unlucky this season. If you look at his percentage. Chris Johnson was on the show on last episode. Kadri's 17 goals with his usual shooting percentage would have been 27 goals. So even if he doesn't quite reach that, he'll be a 20-plus goal scorer. He'll have a better season next year. You'll hopefully get him better line mates. How long did he play with Michael Grabner? Bless him. Bless him. I love Michael Grabner, but he's not a first-line player. Probably not even a second-line player anymore.
No.
So if you're a Kadri detractor, take a look at the value and breathe. No one's expecting him to be the next Sidney Crosby. No one's expecting him to be the next, first-line center of this team. If he earns it, amazing! What a discount! But if he's just a decent second-line center, still probably a discount. And Morgan Rielly, look at him. Guy almost got 40 points on a team that finished last and couldn't score. As a defender, as a 22-year-old defender.
And the highest scoring player on the team was a Kadri with 45.
Oh, yeah.
Morgan Rielly almost led the team in points.
Exactly. And he was the only player on this godforsaken team to play in all 82 games this season. Only 5 Leafs made it above 70 games.
So you think you had it tough. You didn't even watch all the games. Imagine playing in them.
I don't know a single hardcore Leaf fan that watched every game this season.
I don't know many hardcore Leaf fans that can physically watch every game. That's a lot.
That's true. Okay, well, let's go with over half.
Oh, yeah.
I've talked to a lot of people who are like, dude, I can't do it. Now imagine me and Rielly and doing that for 25 minutes a night.
That's a lot. That's a
I
lot.
don't get paid that kind of money. Okay, fine. Way to make it real. All I'm saying is both deals are forward thinking, and
I'm surprised Morgan Rielly signed it.
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Because it is an insanely fair contract right now. But the better Morgan Rielly gets, and the more years we get on in this, the more unfair it gets to him. And I get taking the money. And you know what? I think I probably would too, because, injury or something like that, you never know what could happen. You're set for life. He is literally set for life now. And then at the end of it, he's 28 in the middle of his prime.
No, I'm not using him as a comparable on the ice, but PK Subban, for example. And there's probably audio of it when he signed that that little bridge deal with Montreal. He was making less than $3 million a year.
Yeah.
And the assumption, and I'm sure what he dug his heels in for the next negotiation was, I take this bridge deal now, it's coming out of your pocket later. You are paying me next time. The Leafs are paying.
Was that before or after he won the Norris, by the way?
He won it that year, didn't he?
He won it that year, and the Habs went, oh dear, we've made an egregious error, and now they're paying him $9 million a season. And the trade-off was they got to pay him less than $3 million for a couple. The Leafs are probably paying Rielly a little more than they would like to, maybe this year and maybe next. After that, smooth sailing. Unless he completely falls off, which that just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. I was more surprised. Like Morgan Rielly, we know is going to be a core part of this team, might even be captain one day. Kadri is here for 6 years now. This guy's a part of the core.
Yeah.
He's part of the core of the Leafs, which is stunning to me because I didn't even know if he was going to stick around at all. I thought he might get traded at the draft.
And there has been a lot of people that have said, the Leafs are just, whoever they say they're high on, don't believe them because, there was article after article written, especially on the internet, of course, about the pumping and dumping of Dion Phaneuf. Oh, Dion's great, Dion's this, Dion's that. They trade him.
The guy they ultimately did that to was Sean Matthias. You're a JVR now. And they threw him out. And, the Avs took him.
But my point is, though, I guess, publicly, they weren't saying much about Sean Matthias, right?
Right, but they were saying tons about Dion Phaneuf.
Yeah.
And you know what? He did look good.
And that's the thing is that I think you could kind of take them at their word in a lot of cases, which we couldn't with the last regime because they just... Well, maybe you could, but whatever they were saying was pretty crazy.
You go, I hope they're making this up.
Yeah. Because with this one, they've kind of stuck true to all the people that they thought were great. Mike Babcock has said it all year. He loves the way Nazem Kadri's played.
Sorry, super intern Matt points out that Rielly actually got a similar deal to Justin Falk and also John Klingberg, who are two players I would take.
I've heard they're okay.
Two players I would take. So isn't it weird that we're now seeing the future take shape?
Yeah.
It's not just about stripping the thing down to the bone. Gardner's going to be here for a while. Kadri's going to be here for a while, unless he gets traded. There are partial no trades. Mm-hmm. And by the way, that is another reason why the dollar amount's low. That costs money. Partial no trade clauses cost money. But Gardner's going to be here a while. Kadri's going to be here a while. Rielly's going to be here a while. All of a sudden, we're starting to see players that are going to stick around while all year the narrative was who's going out of town and for what.
Right.
It's neat. And it's encouraging.
So speaking of the future, a trade happened today. A big trade happened today that will affect the future of a franchise. And that franchise is the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh.
Go Rams.
So here's what happened.
Are you a Rams fan?
I am a Rams fan.
That's such a strange team to be a fan of.
Yeah,
it was the first Super Bowl I ever watched.
The Kurt Warner Rams.
Yes, the greatest show on turf.
Ah.
So yeah, when I was little, I watched that and became a Rams fan.
And Marshall Falk.
Yeah.
Marshall Falk was
Torrey
amazing.
Holt, Isaac Bruce.
Yes.
Yeah, those are my guys.
Yes.
I like them because of Nelly.
See, that's funny because right at that time, Jesse, is when Steve invested in his Eddie George jersey.
Oh, yeah.
And Eddie George almost stole the Super Bowl from the St. Louis Rams, but did not.
It'd be nice if Steve had one.
I know. It'd be nice if I didn't get ripped off on the internet. Don't worry, I'll get you
I know,
one.
that sucks, though.
I lost $150 on that stupid jersey.
OMG.
Yeah. Anyway, so here's what happened today. The Titans and Rams made a trade. Funnily enough, Steve's team, Jesse's team.
Steve's team. I couldn't name a single player.
Nobody can name anybody on Tennessee right now besides Mariota. But the Titans agreed to send the number 1 overall pick to the Los Angeles Rams. Okay. Now, football, they draft a little bit differently. They do draft for position in football a lot more, especially in the first round, than they do in hockey. Because a lot of the players can make the jump right into the league and have no issues, especially in the first 10, 15 picks.
Well, because they're way older, too, though. Aren't they like 22, 23? 24?
Sometimes.
Because you have to spend at least 3 years in college before playing in the NFL. So,
Which, I feel like 18-year-olds would probably die. So that's probably good. It's probably good.
Health and safety.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think, Steve, since you didn't know about this, what do you think it cost the LA Rams to get that pick?
I unfortunately know the answer.
Okay.
Wasn't it 3 seconds? Oh, was it not?
You don't know the answer, which is great. This is fantastic. That makes it even better. I was hoping you didn't know the answer.
great.
Which, by the way, in the NHL, the owner would literally come down from the ceiling like Johnny Bauer at every Leafs home opener and fire the GM on the spot.
Yes. Yep. Now, so the Titans agreed to send the number 1 pick in the draft to the Rams for the 15th overall pick.
Oh.
So they're only moving down 15 spots. Not bad, right? It's not bad. It's not bad. And the Rams did this because they wanted one of the 2 quarterbacks coming out of the NCAA this year, but we'll get to that in just a second. They also got, the Titans also, so besides the 15th overall pick, they also got 2 second-round picks, a 43 and a 45. Okay?
Okay.
And a 3rd rounder, 76 in the draft. The Titans also received the Rams' first-round pick next year.
What?
Along with their 3rd-round pick next year.
So, how many picks is that?
That is, I believe, 6 picks.
Whoa!
Now, in addition to the number 1 pick, the Rams also get a 4th-round pick and a 6th-round pick. So 113 and 177 this year.
See, in hockey, I feel like the first-round pick or first overall pick means more.
Do you?
Like, aren't there more players selected in football?
I don't.
No, only one last round. There's 7 rounds of football.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't I look stupid?
So, I'm just wondering. Okay, so here's the deal: the Leafs are picking somewhere in the top 4, right?
Yes.
But let's say,
Oh, don't.
This is fun.
let's have some fun.
Oh, don't.
Let's say they can make that same deal for. No. The Leafs are picking first overall. Let's say St. Louis or Tennessee, Nashville, comes to them and says, "We'll give you the same deal that the Rams got in LA for Austin Matthews. Would you do the same deal?" So you get to move your Austin Matthews pick to 15th overall, plus you got Pittsburgh's pick a couple picks later.
Yeah.
Then you've got a 43 and a 45, a 76 this year. That's all this year. Plus, you get the first round pick next year, and you already know this team's bad. Like, the Rams are going to be bad next year, so that's a lottery pick next year, along with the 3rd round pick in next year's draft.
So this is like, what, making a trade with like the Canucks or something?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. They might finish middle of the pack. We might be a lot better. We finished 15th this year.
Oh boy, I might take that.
Wow.
I might
I
take
am
that.
surprised. I thought you'd shut that down handily.
Here's why I might shut that down is, I mean, it's Austin Matthews, first of all.
Right.
And, I mean, that's a ton of draft picks, but the Leafs already have a ton. Like, you can only have so many. I feel like it's 90 people.
Right, but that's also like
committed to your
saying you
organization.
should trade Malkin for assets. But what's the
What's
because
the
it's
deal?
this is Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Here, I think if it's the first overall pick, I think the Leafs take him no matter what. If the Leafs drop to 4, I could see them trading down. I was thinking about that today. I could definitely see them trading down.
What about the reverse scenario?
So the Leafs would give up that much.
Phoenix wins the first overall pick.
Phoenix Jar.
Arizona wins the first overall pick. Do you trade all those picks for Austin Matthews?
That is a first, 2 seconds, and a 3rd this year, and a first and a 3rd next year. That's a lot of picks.
We have them.
We do have them. We do have them. That's also why I said this.
I'll tell you when the season's over. Oh, God. You put me on the spot, man.
That's what we do on this show.
No. You stay the course. You're going to get good players no matter what.
By the way,
If you're confident in your scouts.
the Rams did
Do it.
this. They did this trade
Or don't do it, I should say.
without an NFL equivalent of an Austin Matthews. You could make the loose comparison that a top line center and a quarterback are similar in value to a team, although a quarterback's far more valuable to an NFL team. Believe me, I know that. But there is no can't miss quarterback in this year's draft, and they're still going to draft a quarterback.
So who looks stupid in all this? Because
I-
everything I was reading said the Titans made out like bandits.
I would say they did.
Yeah. Even next year, they might have a top 5 pick.
Yeah. And they already have Marcus Mariota, who's
That's the worst part of the trade.
They didn't need a quarterback.
The worst part of the trade is
next year.
Is the first round pick next year. Everything else you can excuse.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard. That's rough.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a rough trade, man.
Any conditions?
No, it's not even protected. Like, I don't know if you can protect picks like you can in the NBA.
Yeah, you can have conditionals,
Or
but
NHL.
not in this situation.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Anyway.
Oh, boy.
Yep. Just thought I'd throw that one at you. Listen, we got to wrap up on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, but there's some things that we need to address in the download issue, including this story that I have about Sid Sixero that I cannot wait to tell you. I cannot wait to tell you this. We're going to talk a little bit about the NHL Bracket Challenge and one Jesse Blake's neighborhood.
What?
Yeah. And their association.
Oh, and look at that. And look at that. The Islanders are pummeling the Panthers. Told you.
Podcast is brought to you by Panago Pizza. It's what's on the inside that counts.
Oh, you don't want to open the Erica Branson door. Also, isn't that Josh Bailey?
Is it 1-0?
Caprice grew up with Josh Bailey. Have I told you that?
No.
Yeah.
Grew up like high school?
Yeah, he's a couple years
Oh, yeah,
younger
he
than
was
us.
a Gen, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's who the Penguins or the Florida Panthers got when you played for them in Chell.
oh, fuck. Are we recording? Is this the online portion now?
No, well, I mean, if you want to. Sorry.
Oh, we can start like that, I guess.
I was so pissed.
Yeah, okay, can we tell that story just one more time? You got Cal Clutterbuck.
So have you ever done Be a Pro
Yes,
or Live
yes.
the Life or whatever the hell it's called? And so you play junior. I was like, I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to play junior. And I got picked first overall. I'm like, I was picked by the Panthers. Okay. No, I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to play on the shitty, very shitty Florida
Had
Panthers.
you already played a season in junior?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So
Yeah.
you committed.
I committed.
That's
I played
a
the
lot.
full season. I didn't
And the
start in the
Memorial
Memorial Cup.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I did the full season.
Damn.
And
then you got drafted by the Panthers.
once again,
but this
the
is a few years ago.
What number did you go overall?
First.
Well, look at you.
When you don't pass the puck, you do look like the best player on the ice.
Look, I was
in the game.
I was just such a G.
Is your name Dangle or Glenn?
It's Dangle.
Obviously.
Jesse. We got
That's not real life.
He says with just imputed. What stupid question is that?
This morning at 10:30, where were you, Adam? What did you just get done doing?
10:30?
Yeah.
Breakfast television?
Adam worked a whole day already.
What were you doing, Jesse?
And he had to go to a whole another show, and then he had to go do... Steve, what were you up to?
I was running gel.
Well, you know
And
what?
just screaming.
Steve-
I don't know what happened. I like the Monstars took all my NHL 16 skill, and I'm barely staying in Division 4. And just every game, shit! 20 seconds left in the game. All right, we're gonna go over to overtime. Shit!
I just want to note that a grown man on a weekday can just play Chell all morning.
I want to know how you know this, Jesse.
Twitter. You shouldn't tweet out your Chell stats all the time.
Now, to be fair,
I then wrote a script.
Steve, at 10:30 this morning, I was supposed to meet someone for breakfast. Jesse was supposed to come to that. And at 9:25, as I'm about to actually head over to Jesse's house and call him and be like, hey, man, I'll just come pick you up and bring you in. And it's about this podcast, by the way. I went to a business meeting about this podcast. Jesse rolls over in his bed. And I know this. He wrote, hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to make it today. Stayed up late watching Kobe. So,
Which, by the way, wasn't that late.
No, it was 1:30 in the morning by the time
man.
St. Louis
My
finally
God.
scored that goal.
Oh, man.
Hey.
You couldn't possibly set your alarm and get up for a commitment. You couldn't possibly
8 hours
do that.
later.
Oh, wait, when was it again?
It was at 10:30 in the morning.
You suck. Are you kidding me?
Some of us had to stay up a couple extra hours after Kobe because we had things to do, like watch TFA on 30 Rock.
Oh, my God. Just
Anyways, at least I didn't wake up and play Chell.
listen, I woke up, got my car that I just got the brakes fixed on. You know, so I can cross all the treacherous bridges with ease.
Of course.
And then I ran gel.
I don't blame you.
After going to Tim Hortons, because Canada.
I always get my homework out of the way first. Get the show preps done. If I've got Blake and Wild, then I do that. And if I have this podcast, then I do the prep for that. And then I run Battlefront. I just play a lot of Battlefront.
You run some front?
Some frontage, some fully frontage. By the way, I'm getting better. I'm getting really freaking good, and I'm a total asshole to play against now, and it's great. Because basically what you do is when you get killed a lot, like I did, sometimes I started to watch some of the better players in the game, and there's an option that you have when you get killed to cycle through the other players and just watch them. So I started watching, and then there's a couple of guys, they're just total dickheads to play against. So I learned from them, and it's so amazing how frustrated people get. And they can't talk to you, but you could tell that they're targeting you because because they don't allow like people talking to each other. Anyway,
shot you 37 consecutive times.
So if you ever play me in Battlefront, I'm just gonna say I might not always win, but I will always be a dick.
Do you play with the headset on and talk to your opponents?
You can't talk to your opponents in Battlefront. You can only talk to your friends that are online playing with you. That's the difference. Call of Duty, it's like it's little kids, doing racial slurs and stuff. Battlefront was like, nah, we don't want a piece of that. So I can talk to my friends. And I'm friends with a guy in his 40s who literally that's what he does. And the other night he was playing. We were playing, and he got 69 kills and 5 deaths, and he had an incredible match. Nice. And then he got so jacked up, his kids were playing in the background, and he's like, "What? Game of my life! Fuck yeah!" and then he goes over to his kids. He goes over to his kids, and he's like, "I love you so much, I'm going to powerbomb you." And I hear his daughter go, "Dad, I'm tired."
I was playing a guy in EASHL. And it sucks because there's 12. Well, okay, I guess there's 6 people on a team, right? And there's one guy who clearly he has his headset on. By the way, every person who wears a headset in NHL, do you all have the same cold at the same fucking time? Okay, all right, okay. I'm playing Chell. Couple seconds pass by. You're teenagers. Why do you all sound like you have smoker's lung? Like what? So that's 90% of the people I play against.
Are you able to talk to players? Because I still haven't created my team.
I do.
Yeah. You can talk to people on your team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only
but not
on your
against
team because if it was against you, it'd just be asshole. You fucking piece of square. I fucking hate you, Phlegm. Piece of shit, new Phlegm. I'm sorry to everyone.
Jesus. Oh my God.
So anyway, all right, who's gonna be goalie? Unbelievable, these people. But the other day, this guy had his headset on. I love the people who have their headset on and for no reason, they don't actually talk to anybody. They say nothing, and they have shit going on in the background. Constantly going into their fucking headset.
So you have to play with people that you don't know?
Yeah, like I'm listening to I started singing along to One Dance because I could hear it, through the dude's friggin' headset. But no, the other day I was playing against a guy saying nothing. None of the other people have their headset on, okay? So I'm just hearing this fucking guy coming through my TV. He's saying nothing except for the occasional and then I hear his kid, who is clearly standing beside him, tugging on his shirt the whole time. Dad! Dad! And then I hear like his wife in the background or girlfriend or something asking him to do shit. And it's progressing because it's going throughout the game. He's like, yeah, just one more, just one. Yeah, no, I'm in the second period. Dad! I'll be there in a minute. I hated this guy.
Why did he have his headset on?
Because he's a dick
and now,
who doesn't take care of his kids and has phlegm.
This was your teammate?
Yes.
Okay, then now we know why Steve doesn't pass. I wouldn't pass that guy either.
Passing the Phlegm Kessel.
He doesn't take care of his kids.
By the way, that's a great gamer tag name. Phlegm Kessel.
Somebody please take that.
Yeah, please be Phlegm Kessel.
No, everyone has been a part of this. Okay, so you're sitting in the room waiting for your Chell game to start. Shut up, dick face.
This is
God.
great. Oh, if you want to really laugh at people on their headsets, you need to check out Stone Mountain 64 on YouTube. So this guy, for some reason, I don't know if he's ex-military. No, he knows all the...
Continue.
No, he knows all the commands of a guy working in the military. So he go...
No, keep talking.
What? Finish your story. Say what you gotta say.
It's freaking hilarious. I'm leaving it. I can't focus. I can't.
No, it's fine.
No, I can't.
So he knows all the military commands.
And it's really funny because he goes onto these teams and he takes over and tries to command them, and people get mad.
Honey, can you get the kid in a minute? No, it's great. I was just reading something today. Like, I can't stand Steve's videos, but you know what? On the podcast, he's much more mellow.
Oh, yeah. Do you listen? I read that same thread, sir.
Oh, yes, I bet you did.
And I apparently...
Shitty Adam, who's shitty?
Apparently what I do is I laugh at you and I agree with you. And that's all I do. And they can't tell whether it's a real laugh or if that's just my media personality.
Oh.
I just laugh a lot, man. And I wrote that. I was like, it's just me. So, yeah.
Wait, what website was this on?
This is on Reddit. Reddit, which is known as the worldwide leader in hate.
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Should we move on to a...
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So anyway, if the Leafs got the first overall pick...
Keep my hands to myself. No matter how hard I'm trying to... Are you still playing that stupid game? I'll be in a minute. Keep my hands to myself.
I actually...
It's every NHL game I've ever played, and now you all have to suffer.
I just thought about it. I did that to my friends in Battlefront the other day. So we're playing...
Yeah?
Oh, you're one of the...
I am, because no, first off, I have...
No, here, tell your story. I can't wait to hear it.
So here's... I'm not going to be able to tell a story again.
No. Too late. I want too many dates.
No, what happened...
That's what people say.
I was like, we were doing this thing called Walker Assault. So you know the big four-legged walkers from Star Wars? I have to explain this to those who have not seen it.
It's like a giant camel.
Yes, it's like a big giant steel camel.
Oh, yeah.
And
is it made of steel?
yes, it is. And we're playing, we're killing people, and they're like, all right, go to the left. So we're all on the left, and all of a sudden you hear, and they're like, and all the guys are like, whoa, what was that? It was me blowing my nose, and I did it right into the microphone, and I was like, I'm sorry. What, Steve?
No, keep going. keep going.
What are you doing? Thank you.
You've never played someone who's got
their phone right
their phone taped to their forehead somehow?
It's true.
Dad! Okay, I think we're done with this bit.
Okay, can I tell the Sid Sixero story without the video game noise?
Yes, I promise.
Okay. All right.
Matt's like, this person's a psychopath.
So I'm going to tell you the story at first, and it's not going to make sense, and then there's going to be detail at the end. That's going to make it all kind of come together. All right?
Cool.
So again, bear with me. So...
I've lost my voice.
So
my throat hurts.
Blake Carter, who Jesse and I work with every day on KISS, has a boyfriend who works for the station. They met here, obviously. And Mark is the kind of guy, he does like all the tech stuff. So if any station is live on location anywhere, so Sportsnet 590, 680 News, CHFI, us at KISS, he's the guy that sets it up, and he's really good at it, and it's not an easy job, and it always works when Mark's doing it. And so he's down at the field for the Blue Jays home opener.
Where Bob McCowan was broadcasting live.
That's right. And you don't want to mess up Bob McCowan's radio.
You were picking up the dirt.
I was on the field picking up the new dirt at the Rogers Center, and I have some of it actually in my pocket still.
Right now?
Yeah, because I don't wash my jeans.
Even if you roll around in the dirt, literally roll around in the dirt.
What is wrong with you?
Put Rogers Center dirt in my hand right now.
I'm going to do it. Hang on.
What is this?
Hold on. Hang on. Just, there's not a lot, but
That's fine. Yeah, get it all over the board, too.
Here, look, see?
Oh, and there's hair. So this,
right
there you go, Jesse. That's Rogers Center dirt.
Okay, what would it take to get Adam Wilde to wash his jeans? Not a bunch of dirt in it, apparently.
I want to know what it would take for him to
Here,
eat this.
I want it back.
Oh, okay.
That's from the Rogers Center. That's good luck dirt.
Anyway, I just literally handed him a grain.
What? I am Pigpen. What? Back in my pocket. You can see that on the video.
What did Sid Sixero do, Adam?
So Sid Sixero walks up to Mark, Blake's boyfriend, and says, "Hey man, I just want to say, huge fan of everything that you do. Huge fan of everything that you do." He's like, I think you're great. And Mark's like, thanks. Like, I've done a couple live broadcasts with you and Sid Sixero and Tim McAllister. Like Tim and Sid were on the radio portion, but now that they're just doing TV, Mark's like, why are you okay? So he's going on and on and on about this stuff. And then he says, he's like, yeah, I know you, whatever, Channel 1. And Mark's like, oh, you think I'm Adam Wilde, don't you? And here's the fun fact that you don't know. Apparently, not apparently.
You guys don't look alike at all.
Well, apparently Mark gets mixed up for me all the time. It happens to him all the time. So Blake's boyfriend and myself sort of look similar. We both have enormous heads and similar color hair and kind of the same haircut. So it's and we're about the same size. But side to side, he looks like David Beckham. I look like a troll. He's a very good-looking guy. He does
look a little bit like David Beckham. You do look a bit like a troll.
See?
That's right.
But yeah, apparently they got... And so then Sid, God bless him, and I'm sure he does not want me telling this story, but I had to tell it. Apparently what happens next is he goes, and I've worked with you, haven't I? To Mark. He says that. And he's like, I've worked with you. You're Mark, aren't you? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I am so sorry. So Mark, I don't even know if I should be telling that story, but I just did.
That's awesome.
But it's
what's going to be great is when you bring
Sid's
that up
fault.
When we have Sid on.
Yeah.
We have to bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? And chances of him hearing this, I mean, I don't know how much he listens to the show, if ever.
I mean, Elliot Friedman heard us, Adam, so...
Well, there you go.
Sky's the limit.
Sky is the limit. Yeah, it would be interesting to see what Sid would say to that. But in fairness, it happens all the time. I have a doppelganger walking around who happens to work at the same place.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
Funny story. And Mark just told me this today. I'm like, why did you wait till today to tell me this? The home opener was last week.
Well, because you had the 28 days later virus for the last week.
Yeah, maybe that's
no
it.
one wanted to be anywhere near you.
So there's... we're totally going off board here and not talking about hockey at all. But that's because there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Well, yeah, I mean, there's not much.
No, you know what? Once every series has had at least one game, the storylines.
There's one more thing I wanted to mention and one more thing I wanted to bring up and start on this show. And that is, we've talked about this before. There's the Liberty Village Residents Association here in Toronto. And then there is the Oshawa Harmony Dog Park. So Steve lives in Oshawa. The Harmony Dog Park is where all the dog park owners go and hang out and kibitz, and they have this group. And Jesse lives in Liberty Village, which is
I do not.
Liberty Village in Toronto is like Millennialville. Imagine every article you've ever read that is stereotypical about millennials. A study about millennials.
Thick frame glasses and giant scarves and burlap sacks.
And French bulldogs and
tiny dogs.
Basically, it's where people with their first relationship in their first condo with their first dog live.
How dare
Jesse
you?
lives there.
It's where young people go to waste their money.
Yes, because it's very expensive to live there.
First of all, we prefer the term libvig. Get it right.
Right, it's libvig.
Get it right.
First of all, no. And if I ever hear you refer to it as that, unironically, I may have to stop
And
being
those
your
of
friend.
us who live there are libvigians. So
No,
get it right.
you're not. Are you really?
We are libvigians.
Oh my God. I hate it. I already hate it so much. Honestly.
I need to know if people actually call themselves that.
I don't know.
Oh my God, thank God.
Yeah. I was wondering if Jesse made that up on the spot or not.
Would you believe it though?
Oh,
We
100%.
can start it right here.
Steve and Jesse and I have traded back and forth from time to time. Funny comments we see on this page. And by the way, I'm even though I don't live there, I definitely am a member, and I'm definitely a member of the Oshawa Harmony Golf Park or Dog Park because it's so funny to read the comments. And the reason that I joined Liberty Village was because
someone's dog scared my kid. Well, then they shouldn't have been in the off-leash part. Maybe you should teach your kid how to behave with a dog.
That is exactly how
It's
the comments
just
go down.
adults fighting.
Blake was sharing a story because she used to live in Libvid. Vig, and
She used to be a Libvigian?
a Libvigian, and she was talking about, I think it was the bread. Somebody had baked too much bread,
Yeah.
and wanted to know if anybody in the neighborhood, which is just a bunch of freaking condos, by the way, and
No,
a
it's a
metro.
neighborhood.
It's a bunch of condos in metro, but they're trying to make it a neighborhood, which I
Excuse me?
appreciate.
There are lots of nice establishments.
Somebody baked too much bread. Don't you hate when that happens? And they're like, hey, come over to my unit. And they gave out their unit number and said, you can have some free bread today. Because in the middle of downtown Toronto, there's nothing that I want to do more than give away where I live or accept food from a stranger.
And thank goodness, because, I mean, you're in downtown Toronto. Where else would you get it?
Right?
Where else would you
I mean,
possibly-
food's pretty scarce here. There are a lot of people.
Indeed.
So Jesse did a great thing, and he pulled together some of the best comments he could find on the LibVig page. And I think from time to time, we need to check in on what's going on in Millennialville, Liberty Village, Toronto.
This cannot disappoint, Jesse. I've been looking forward. Like, these are like the sacred scrolls. Like, I've just been waiting to see what LibVig has to say for so long.
Well, first of all, we should point out that nobody in LibVig has a printer. Because every 5 posts is, hey, does anybody know where I can print this?
By the way, if
And
you
they'll
go
post
to,
the document, too.
And they'll post the document, hoping that somebody will print it for them.
here's my taxes. Can
Yeah.
you print this and bring it
They're
up
like,
to?
hey, I'm
Here's
going to
where I
jail,
live.
give it a few hours.
No word
Here's
of a
my
lie.
social security.
No word of a lie.
Yeah.
They'll
You can-
post the document.
Yep.
You can get a printer for like $30.
No.
Yeah.
Not in LibVig. All right.
If you can afford to live in Liberty Village, you can afford a fucking printer.
Yeah. Condos are expensive there.
Hi, Liberty Village. Passing on this message from a friend of mine who started a balcony cleaning business in Liberty Village. It's springtime and you're looking forward to some quality time next to a glass of wine on your balcony. Perfect, right? Want to improve this experience? Let our new company super clean your balcony.
How big is your balcony?
This is a post.
And this person has to enter your home, because how else would he get to your balcony?
Yep. But
Yes,
you know
Jesse,
what?
but-
Listen, wine tastes better on a clean balcony. Am I right?
The wine part was a very overlooked part.
But my favorite part,
Oh,
or
here we
my
go.
favorite post today is from Angela.
This can't disappoint.
Angela wants to know if anyone has a TTC pass she can borrow for today.
Are you? No way!
Anyone have a pass they're not using this afternoon until around 1 until early evening? They could lend a neighbor.
Hey, does
Message
anyone?
me.
I'm fully not going to juke your TTC
Yeah,
pass.
does anyone
I'm
have
fully not gonna just
$150?
steal your fucking
$150 Metro Pass.
She just wants to
TTC,
use
by
it
the
for
way.
today.
Yeah, Toronto Transit Commission. For those of you out of town who are like, "What the hell are you talking
Yeah,
about?"
and it costs
Can
for.
I just take your bus pass? Can I take your
She
bus and
can't
subway
pay the
pass?
$3.25 it takes to get on the bus
It's
today.
expensive. It's expensive.
She just wants to know if she can borrow a pass.
She
from
wants to save
anyone.
$7, man. That's what she wants
This
to
was
do.
posted yesterday.
Okay.
At 10 a.m.
I hope she got it.
I
Did
hope
anyone,
so.
did anyone check in and find out?
There were no comments.
Does anyone have a credit card I can borrow?
Yeah, right? Is there other? I know
Borrow
there's
your
more.
car? I want to do Uber, but you just kind of take it yourself.
Christina dropped her keys on Lakeshore today, 22 hours ago. She's saying, if anybody found it, let me know, message me.
And I, just to
Wait,
give it,
did she give out her address?
No.
Address?
You can
Okay, I was
message
about
them
to
on
say,
Facebook.
please, could a stranger please bring my keys back to this
Hold
place
on. Can we just put
where
this
I
in
live?
context for people not from Toronto? Lakeshore is the first highway built in Toronto. Lakeshore is.
Wait, where did she drop it?
Lakeshore.
Drop my keys running on Lakeshore.
Lakeshore Boulevard.
Miss, what were you doing there?
Well, no. But listen, it's fair that she's running there. There are
Okay.
sidewalks there, but Lakeshore Boulevard runs right near. It's 6 lanes wide. Do you think that anybody has found your keys?
Lakeshore also stretches from Burlington to like Scarborough.
She didn't even give an area.
She just said, drop my keys on Lakeshore today. Anyways, Minerva is really sorry that Christina lost her keys. The one comment on this post is,
You know what? Damn it, Minerva. Christina was like, holy shit, there's a notification. Someone found my key. Oh, no, they didn't, but at least
But
they're
Minerva.
sorry. At least a stranger's sorry. I'm sure she was really relieved to see that a
She
stranger's
had-
sorry.
she had a very important thing to say.
What did Minerva say?
May God help you find your keys today.
This is my favorite.
That's it.
That's at this point, that's what it's going to take, Minerva. So you know what? Good on you. Good on you.
Smartass Vlad said, LOL, is that part of his duties now?
Vlad, you're an asshole.
But you know what? I give Vlad
asshole.
credit. He's the
But-
only one with some freaking brains in that entire page. Man.
And Christina, again, was like, second time's the charm, I bet. I bet Vlad, more like Galavlad, is going to come and save me and bring me my keys. No, Galavlad is a Vlad's hole.
Nicole's troubles aren't as serious as
Okay,
someone losing their
what's
keys,
troubling Nicole? Tell us
or
about Nicole.
someone needing a TTC pass, or somebody needing a printer.
Okay. Tell us about Nicole.
Nicole says, does anyone have a P90X yoga DVD that I could borrow for a couple of weeks? I'm supposed to do yoga as part of an injury, but I'm not enough a fan of yoga to drag myself to a class. Looking for that 90-minute killer DVD if anyone can lend it to me. Message
She
away.
never heard of BitTorrent?
She never heard of just go get your own damn P90X yoga.
Or YouTube freaking yoga shit.
YouTube.
There's a bunch. There's a bunch. It's yoga. Like it's. Can I borrow a DVD no one has used since 2004 for a couple weeks and definitely give it back? Holy shit. Who is this?
Nicole.
Shut up, Nicole.
This was yesterday at 4.
Minerva comments, I hope God can find you your P90X DVD.
What the fuck, Nicole? Come on.
Vlad should have commented, go on YouTube. Honestly, that's Vlad just policing the page.
I bet. No, here's the thing that I don't know if you put enough emphasis on, Adam. You need to be accepted into the Liberty, the Libvidge,
The Libvidge.
Facebook community. I wonder if Vlad is spoken about in an ill manner. I wonder if they don't like his cantankerous posts. Because I feel like they may.
They may.
All of these posts, by the way, I scrolled back to the last 48 hours. So who knows if I went.
This is gold. This is gold, and we're gonna keep coming back to this from time to time just to check in on the Libvidge.
God, I hope no
the
one-
Libvidgians.
I hope no one there listens to the show.
Yeah, or posted.
I
in
hope
the group.
no. You know what? I know they do
I don't
because
want
we
them to ruin
were
our fun.
walking down the street in Liberty Village for the Marlies game, and someone came up to us and said, "You guys are on the Steve Dangle. You guys are the Steve Dangle podcast."
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's right. Okay, if you are listening to this, be cool.
Don't blow our cover.
Please be cool.
Well, I'm gonna see
Just
too.
be cool.
I think we're playing around with doing this on the air at Kiss as well. Doing these, having Jesse come on and read these Residents Association comments, and I want to just know how long Blake and I have before we get booted from the page. But the thing is, they won't know Jesse's name on Kiss because we always just address him as producer Jesse. So even if we got kicked off, he'd still be there, and we'd be all right.
in the last 12 hours, I'm trying to count the amount of posts, and I'm already up to 17 in the last 12
a lot.
I
hours.
live there.
It just keeps going.
And we'll do the
Everybody's
Oshawa Harmony
posting
Golf Park
garbage.
or golf park. Why golf
Dog
park?
park.
Dog park. I'm thinking golf because it's spring out. Anyway, I just thought that was a beautiful thing. Thank you, Minerva, for blessing us with your comment. Really appreciate. And of course, her name is Minerva. I'm sorry, but that's such a perfect name.
May God.
It is. It's a good name.
It is a good name
It's a very good name.
for that. For that.
I'm trying to think of a joke.
It's okay.
I can't
And
do
Steve's
it.
Steve is just out of patience. Not even out of jokes, out of patience.
I screamed myself hoarse with.
Shall we do the press conference, gentlemen?
Yes.
So we've got Matt here, who's just shadowing us for the day, and I know he's going to ask a question, but we'll just hang on just a sec, buddy. Let's get to the listener questions. Matt is a listener, but the listener questions first.
So, what are your thoughts? Let's get back to hockey.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on Calgary confirming they won't re-sign Hiller or Backstrom?
I think it means James Reimer is going to be a Calgary Flame,
Well,
or Frederick Anderson.
there are lots of goalies available. There are lots of. I mean, that's part of the reason the price is so low, right? Mm-hmm. I'd be curious. I'd be very It'd be extremely interesting to see James Reimer end up a Calgary Flame. Because I know he's not the GM, but Brian Burke would have to vouch for him, I think. Mm-hmm. I believe in this guy.
And he's already believed in him before.
I don't think he was a fluke under me.
No.
He believed in him before because I think he had to. Like, I mean, lots of people, even when James was a rookie and was stopping everything, a lot of people called him a flash in the pan. And James Reimer's injury and like regression because of that injury was, I mean, a big part of the reason Brian Burke got fired, frankly. Not even frankly, that's just the truth. He didn't return to form until the next year when Dave Nonis is like, look at this team I've built that Brian gave me.
And watch me mess it up.
Yeah. Oh, watch me completely. Oh, anyway, we always find a way to bring that up. Reimer to Calgary would be very, very interesting. And it also makes more sense because he's an unrestricted free agent. And if I'm not mistaken, Frederik Andersen has to be traded. And the Ducks are in the same division as the Flames, which is hilarious, by the way.
Yeah.
Nowhere near each other. But, I mean, that is the life of the West.
Same division, not same talent level, maybe.
Reimer, I mean, they're going to take a hard run at it.
What's more likely? He signs with Edmonton or Calgary?
Calgary. Edmonton. Cam Talbot was fantastic back half of the season. I don't think Edmonton's too worried about that.
Okay.
And Calgary makes a lot of sense for James. He trains in BC in the summer often. He's from
close enough
west.
to home. Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, close enough to home because it's part of Western Canada, but like Winnipeg is still like a hour and a half, 2 hour flight from Calgary.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know if that's a huge factor. Maybe the lifestyle, but I mean, he's kind of built the life for himself in Toronto. I would love to see what would happen if the Leafs look together.
I think you got to get off that train, pal.
Yeah, I don't think he wants another year of splitting the net with Bernier.
And I also don't think he'll be back. I just don't think they're going to go after him.
I think you're probably right. Breaks my heart, but what about the Sharks? Like, I think it could be super interesting seeing.
Do you think he wants to be behind Martin Jones, or do you think Martin Jones has earned the starter spot?
Well, hey man, you never know. You never know. I mean, San Jose needs a goalie. They need a backup.
Oh,
they at the very least need a backup. Now, if I'm James, I wouldn't sign
a slightly used Jonathan Bernier.
Maybe, dude. They had Alex Stalock for most of the year. The Marlies just sent him home.
They sent him home.
Oh yeah. Alex Stalock's no longer with the Marlies.
Wow.
Yeah. So they opted to run with Garrett Sparks, Antoine Bibeau, and Casimir Kaskisuo, who just got there, and instead of Alex Stalock, who has like several years of NHL experience.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how quickly things went south for him. I wonder if San Jose tries to salvage him. Nah, that's not going to happen. They need a goalie. I don't know if I'm James Reimer, I don't know if I would do that, though.
What would you say about the possibility of the Leafs going after Jonathan Drouin?
I mean, it's intriguing.
I just don't like what they'd have to give up to get him.
I don't like what they'd have to give up to a divisional rival. There's another divisional rival who's nowhere near. I don't like what they would have to give up to a divisional rival. And I mean, I can't imagine Lou Lamoriello tolerating an ounce of garbage he's put the Lightning through.
It reminds me of when Brian Burke was asked, when Danny Heatley asked for a trade. When Brian Burke had just taken over with the Leafs and Danny Heatley asked for a trade out of Ottawa, what he said about Danny Heatley. And he basically just
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, you should look up what Brian Burke had to say.
Are you maybe confusing? Because there was another one.
Oh, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was in Anaheim.
I think it was in Vancouver. And I think you're talking about Trevor Letowski. Because you were like, if he thinks if Trevor Letowski thinks he can make that kind of money, I'll drive him to the airport. No. I'm actually, no. He's full of great ones.
No, this was Burke actually with Anaheim. And somebody asked him if he would trade for Danny Heatley. And he just was like, not a chance. I am never getting a player who acts like that.
Wow. He was also rough on Dustin Penner, too, who signed a...
right?
Yeah, he signed a... offer sheet. One of the few successful offer sheets, and the Oilers took him. And
why was he rough on Dustin Penner for that?
I don't know. He wasn't that gruff on him. This was 2008.
Right.
I don't remember.
He was rough on Kevin Lowe about that.
This was before I started videos. No. about the time I started videos.
Yeah, I remember him being mad at the Oilers.
He was much more mad at the Oilers. Yeah.
If you're starting a team, who do you take, Patrick Kane or Jonathan Toews?
James Reimer.
Jonathan Toews. All day, every day.
Yeah, Jonathan Toews.
Oh, why? One of them just led the league in scoring.
Yep.
The other didn't.
Yep.
Do you think the Sedins will retire together?
Yeah, it'd be kind of stupid if they didn't at this point.
Yeah.
Which sucks a lot for the Canucks, frankly. I mean, you can't trade them.
No, you can't.
You can't. How do you do it? How do you do it?
You can't. That's too much money, and they're not. I mean, they're producing quite well, but I just don't. I don't think the Sedins want to leave either.
You know what? Okay, from the pure GM heartless NHL 16 angle, you got to get something for your assets, especially your big ones. So the Canucks not getting anything for the Sedins before they retire is brutal. On the other hand, they gave the team their heart and soul for their entire careers, and take it from someone who cheered for Matt Sundin. It's nice having your legends retire with you. And even though Sundin didn't spend his whole career with the Leafs, it would have been really nice seeing him end his career with the Leafs, and we were robbed of that. After all the shit Canucks fans have been through, I hope they at very least get that.
Well,
or
by the way, we were robbed by the Canucks of that.
I know, assholes. Maybe this is what they deserve.
If the playoffs were played between mascots, which team wins the cup?
Oh, man. I don't know all of the mascots, but I got to think that the Shark is up there.
The Shark is a vicious animal.
Yeah. I think Calgary's Bear, while he looks friendly, because he has that big tongue that sticks out of it, is good. But I
think the Calgary's Bear would beat up Carlton the Bear, because Carlton is very immobile compared to most of the other
Carlton's
mascots.
put on weight lately.
He's put on a little.
Yeah,
he's a little doughy.
soft. Yeah,
he's a little doughy.
You know who wins? Spartacat, Ottawa Senators.
Oh man, he's a lion.
He's a lion.
Vicious,
yeah,
and here's where the
Spartacat.
Shark loses. Suffocates. There's no. That's a little rude. It's a little rude to
Who
throw
says?
the shark out of
Hey,
water.
listen! In the mascot WWE, who says that they're not doing a cage match underwater, man? Okay.
Okay.
We don't
Well,
know.
then the rest of them drown, and then it's a definite victory. Wait, the Kings got Bailey, who is also a vicious-looking lion.
What about-
I'm wondering if it's a death match between Spartacat and Bailey.
I always just thought
Sparky the
Spartacat is the
Dragon?
coolest name. Sparky the Dragon.
The Islanders mascot.
Sparky the Dragon.
Oh,
Sparky the
yeah!
Dragon. I've never seen him.
And he'll have to play the devil.
What's
I got
Montreal's?
them all
What's Montreal's names?
Oh, yeah,
UP,
UP.
yes.
Thank you, Matt.
I met him. He's like the Philly fanatic, eh? He's just, everybody knows UP just because he's been around forever. Because of the Expos. Because of the Expos? He was, yeah, there you go.
Here, wait. I'm looking one up. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. The Minnesota Wild's mascot is a bear-fox hybrid called Nordy.
Man bear peg. It's a man bear peg.
The Blue Jackets. Man bear pig.
So I think I'm going with man bear pig.
It's okay. It's just me, Al Gore. We know. I was the vice president.
You guys, it's super cereal.
Super cereal.
Telling everyone I'm cereal. They don't believe me when I say I'm cereal. Now, I don't know the name of this gentleman, but the Columbus Blue Jackets have a mascot.
Is he a blue
Looks like
jacket?
Colonel Sanders if he were a cannon.
That looks like a
cannon?
cigarette with wheels.
It's a cannon. It's a cannon with a white mustache, and he looks so angry. However, they would all lose to the Dallas Stars mascot. Look at that green fuzzy thing. Look at him.
What is his name? Green Alien?
Victor E. Green.
Steve. Steve, I have some bad news for you.
Dad!
And the Penguins have Phlegm Kessel.
Boomer the Cannon.
Boomer
is
the Cannon.
retired.
Isn't it a bug now?
And now it's Stinger, a
Stinger.
giant green bee.
Oh my God. And he comes out from the rafters with a bat. Oh, that's a different Sting. I'm sorry. You see, because there was a wrestler.
Stinger has nice underwear on. So under his jersey.
Why is he wearing the bulletproof underwear from Super Troopers?
Stinger is the smiling too hard emoji.
Yeah.
You know the emoji where it's like, I'm really freaking happy right now. This is fine. You can caption that with "This is fine." And you are Tim Murray from last year's draft, right there.
Or every Blue Jacket season.
Oh, every Blue. We're so happy we invested in season's tickets for this team again.
Are mascots the worst or the best?
Are mascots the worst or the best?
They're the
best.
They're the best.
Okay. Kids love them.
What I didn't love was the Blue Jays tried to have two mascots for a while. There was BJ Birdie, who was the first one.
Now they have Ace.
But they had two for a while, and they got rid of BJ Birdie because of BJ. That's exactly why they got rid of it. Trust me.
There are still
BJ and Birdie together. Who thought of that? Seriously.
People walking around in red, white, and blue I Heart BJ shirts by the thousands.
Yeah,
but they had
still sells them out of his cardboard box every game outside the Rogers
It's the
Center.
same. It's like this big guy, right? He's just like, I heart BJs. Who hearts BJs? And then you give him $20 for a counterfeit.
He's kind of uncomfortable too. Like it's just.
What do you expect from the guy?
I don't know. I just thought he'd be a better salesman than that. Maybe is that wrong?
He lacks the charm of the drummer.
Yeah.
Let's go, Blue Jays.
Love that guy. He's only been doing it for like 25 years.
Anyway, the Jays had two for a while, and nobody could remember either of their names because you really can only remember one name. Right? It's like one name. You got one mascot name to remember. So now they got it back down to one.
There's the Raptor.
Yeah, it's the Raptor.
I like him.
He's great.
So,
I wasn't sure where you were going
Does that
with
answer your question?
The Raptor exists. Yes, Steve. Where would you like to go with that?
He would beat everyone, including both Lions and the Devil and his magical devil powers.
Yeah, what is the New Jersey Devils mascot? Do they have one?
It's a devil
It's a
with
devil.
a creepy devil mustache.
Is there really?
That's it.
Do the Rangers have one?
It's called the New Jersey Devil, actually.
Well, that's aptly named. I like that. Is the Rangers like a park ranger?
I don't believe
I don't
the
think they
Rangers
have
have a
one.
mascot. It
What?
is not on the mascot page.
What would be the Rangers
Some
mascot?
cities' mascots just don't work. I heard this thing from Bill Burr once. I think it was Bill Burr. How the Boston Red Sox tried to have a mascot for a while, and they had to stop after fans just kept assaulting him because Boston.
Does Philly have one outside of the Philly Fanatic?
27 of the 30 NHL teams now have some sort of mascot. Only the Edmonton Oilers, New York Rangers, and Philadelphia Flyers remain without one.
We're talking about physical assaults, and
So there you
I mean,
go.
it's not. I don't want to label anyone.
It's the Philly Fanatic. Get out of my way, dick!
It's just that Philly fans have this magical, loving reputation.
I tell the story every now and then, but whatever. Okay, if you ever been to some event in Toronto or any city you're in, you know, you're trying to park, you know, it's kind of difficult, and maybe sometimes you go somewhere where you shouldn't. The security guard or the parking attendant goes, "Oh, excuse me, sir, madam, you can't go this way." "Oh, actually, no, sorry, this area is restricted." You know, they might raise their voice a bit. "This area is restricted. You're gonna have to turn around." This guy, I'm at the draft in 2014 in Philly. This guy's going down a road. Someone who's clearly working steps in front of him and goes, "What are you, nuts?"
You know what? I gotta say, I appreciate that about people from Philadelphia because at least they're honest. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You know where they stand. You know if they like you or they don't. And there's no question about it. There's no games like other places.
And
Philadelphia, it's like you get it.
Conflict with the exception of assaulting a mascot or beating up a Rangers fan,
Which, by the way,
or throwing shit at like Steelers fans and stuff that I've seen. With the exception of that, conflict in like Boston, because I've been to Boston more than I've been to Philly, is no big deal. It's not uncommon to see, like I saw someone was there was this dude who had a giant Bobby Orr tattoo across his entire back, and I took a picture of it. And some girl, Was it a girl or I don't know. Someone was trying to take a picture of them to make fun of them.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a big guy standing behind the dude with the Bobby Orr tattoo who was like, hey, fuck off, buddy. What? I'm just taking a picture. Fuck. You know what you were doing. Fuck you. Fuck you. And then he just walked away. Like, that's a fist fight in a lot of places. So that's like a huge story. Like, I almost got into a fight at the Winter Classic.
Right.
No, in Boston, it's like, well, I already forgot about that dick.
It's funny that you mention that because it's all based on where you are. And I'll tell you this, in Toronto, whenever the Yankees come to town, you got to go to the game for the Blue Jays Yankees because there is a guaranteed fight going to happen. Oh. And it's because all the Yankee fans that don't want to pay the ridiculous Yankee prices for a ticket come to Toronto.
Seriously?
Yeah, because it's cheaper to come here.
Imagine coming to Toronto for a cheap ticket.
I know. But in baseball, right? It's baseball. It's a little different.
Still.
I mean, the tickets aren't bad for the Blue Jays. They're really pretty fairly priced, I think.
Yeah, no, they are.
Whereas the Yankee tickets are just crazy.
We paid $30 each for the home opener. Like, I don't care where your seats are. Like, for the home opener.
That's
for a
good.
team
That's a good price for a team that went to the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was I think Bro Bible featured a Yankee fan just getting filled by a Toronto Blue Jays fan, and
that's what the Bro Bible said.
But there was one punch
connected.
Yeah,
but there was when that happens, people in Toronto don't bat an eye. If that happened at a Leaf game, front page news. Mm-hmm. Front page.
No. Here's how it works, Adam. You know what? You can get into a fight anywhere at a Jays game, and that's where you're getting confused. You can get into a fight if you're sitting in any section at a Jays game. At a Leaf game, and also Bruins games, and I'm sure other NHL arenas, there is the fancy people down there section close to the glass, and everyone's just enjoying a good old family fun time. And then there's the nosebleeds where people just punch each other in the neck.
At Leaf games?
You betcha.
Really?
Oh, I should get someone from ACC Security on here. Every game.
Really?
Every game. Dude, it's a sellout every time. There's 19,000 people. There's going to be at least 2 dicks.
Yeah.
Scrap.
Yeah. Actually, if you want a fun time, ask ACC staff what sport they hate the most.
Ooh.
What do you think it is?
What is
Lacrosse.
the toughest to work?
Yeah, what one's Steve?
Shit.
Lacrosse is my bet.
Yeah. Adam, you went through that.
Oh yeah, I've been to many. All the
money you save on the ticket, you spend on getting wasted.
Yes, absolutely.
Lacrosse fights.
And the answer is absolutely 100% lacrosse.
Nice.
Because all the money you save on tickets, you spend on getting day drunk. Because they never get the Saturday night game because the Leafs do. So it's yeah.
That is, yeah. I really admired that about Boston. Like, people can just kind of tell each other to fuck off and then walk away.
It must be a peaceful place. Yeah, exactly. It must be a peaceful place. Like, I know somebody that got kicked out of a Blue Jay game for saying someone.
That's not what I've heard. But anyway,
no, but you let your anger out. Fuck off. They say fuck off back. You both get it out. You watch the game. It's over. Yeah. Right. But I know somebody that got kicked out of a Blue Jays game for telling someone who was throwing food at him to fuck off, and they booted him from the Blue Jays game.
Yeah, I've heard Rogers Center staff can be kind of sensitive about
They're
this.
not good with the swearing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Even like heckling players, they're not about it. They'll like tell you to sit down.
That's such a Canadian thing, too. Sit down and watch the game.
Yeah. Stop
making noise. Whereas in England, or you go to a TFC game here because that's where all the actual soccer fans are. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe
They tell security to F off. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The fans at TFC tell security to get lost.
The hooligans at the TFC games. I haven't been to a game in Europe yet. I can't wait to go one day. But
I might go to a rugby game in Scotland this summer.
Amazing. I want to try to find a way to get to a friendly while I'm in London this summer. But the best part about going to the TFC game the first time was when Columbus or whatever we were playing scored on us. Everybody in my entire section, kids included, stood up and gave him the finger. and like, how do people sneak flares into a stadium?
Full beer can at David Beckham. You can stick your David Beckham up your ass. You can stick your David Beckham. Like thousands of people.
Wow. It's a riot. See, I wish hockey was a little more like that sometimes. That's why I like Tampa so much. They had chants and they were excited and it was fun.
You could have Liverpool fans and Borussia Dortmund fans sharing a song together and it's beautiful.
Is that what happened?
YouTube it. It's beautiful. Yeah. They sang and they had their scarves in the air. It was nice.
Does it end in a fight?
It quite possibly could have.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway.
Here's a question I just thought of. Would you prefer if NHL media was like English soccer media, where the media doesn't talk to the players? You go to the coach once a week, and that's where you get your quotes from? You don't have access to the locker room?
It would sure make the press conferences more fun.
Is that why I see coaches snap so much more often?
Yeah, because you only talk to the coach. You don't go to the players. You don't get access.
I like that.
you do in North America.
I kind of like that.
That's how it works.
Player quotes
in Europe.
suck. First off, they always suck.
They don't always, though. They don't always suck. You know, that just goes to show, though, that media is a bit of a promotion machine, though. Hockey nees that attention.
Yeah, it does. At least
Soccer, who gives a
whatever.
shit? You're going to sell it out anyway.
They don't have to talk to anyone ever again, and they're still going to make $10 billion.
Yeah.
That makes so much more sense.
It's amazing. I like
understand
that.
now.
That's an interesting idea.
I'm going to say no, because a lot of people I know wouldn't have any work.
Okay.
Cool.
I'd like to see a North American sport try it. You don't get access to the players every single day after every practice.
Baseball probably could use that because they play a lot.
Let's start it experimentally with the Oklahoma City Thunder. No, did you see that or read that article?
No.
It's basically the whole team, just kind of unanimously was like, we're going to do the bare minimum and that's it.
Oh,
really? Why?
At the end of it, I still didn't understand. It's just one day, Kevin Durant and Westbrook were just like, nah, fuck you, fuck this.
Because of all the things they've been reading about themselves?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. I got to the end of it. Oh, I mean, I read it like a year ago, but yeah, it's very bizarre. And the guy writing it is like, I don't know what we did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, do you want to come on and ask your question, buddy? So Matt, who is shadowing. Matt.
If you're the Leafs and you have the first overall pick, do you trade it and draft Alex Nylander, the brother of William, and have a triplets line of Lindbergh, William Nylander, and Alex Nylander, and they're all Swedish. The Swedish triplets.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You can teach Austin Matthews Swedish.
Yeah.
They got the resources. You know what? If they get the number 1 pick, I can't see them doing that. If they get number 4,
Yeah.
I don't think someone's taking Nylander at number 4. And I gotta wonder what the gap is between a guy like Kachuk and Alex Nylander, and if there's anyone else in the second round the Leafs like.
And think about, too, and I agree with you, Steve, because think about what it is for teams in the past. What's the precedent for teams moving up in the draft and how much they give up for a few spots? It's a lot.
I think
especially those first 10 picks.
When the Leafs moved from 7th to 5th to draft Luke Shen, oh, memories. I think they gave up a 2nd and a 4th.
Didn't one of those turn into Brandon Saad and John Gibson or
One of them
that?
did turn into someone. I don't remember who, but the Islanders didn't draft him. I think they traded the pick away. Oh yeah, that's going back. That's going back now. That's 2008.
I think that
Imagine if you could get a 2nd round pick to move back 2 spots.
So you get a first and
I might do that.
I might do that.
Unless I have this sneaking feeling that by some miracle, if the Leafs are at number 4, one of the 2 Finnish kids are going to be available. There's always off the board picks. There's always off the board pick. Dude, the Leafs got Nylander because of off the board picks. I bet on one. I'm like, okay, someone is going to have one off the board pick, and then the Leafs will get one of Nylander or Ehlers. And then the Hurricanes picked Hayden Fleury. And I was just like, yes! They're both still on the board. If you guys pick some bum, I'm going to freaking kill it. And they went up there and shocked me with William Nylander. If they get number 4, I wouldn't be too sad to see them trade down. If they get number 1, fuck that. You picked number 1.
Yeah, always. All right, so...
Anything else, sir?
Oh, yeah, do you have another question?
So, Pete DeBoer, head coach of the San Jose Sharks, first year coaching the Florida Panthers, they make it to the first round, get eliminated in the first round. First year coaching the New Jersey Devils, gets eliminated in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Kings. Does he win the cup this year with the Sharks?
Well, who did he have in net in Florida? I can't remember either.
He was that was the weird year where Florida did really well with Brian Campbell and
Oh, theater?
Yeah.
And well,
Wasn't it?
And with New Jersey, who did he have? Brodeur, oh yeah, some.
But, like, the last-
he's got a real goalie with James Reimer now. So yeah, I think he wins the cup.
I say no just for my bracket's sake.
Oh yeah, that would murder my bracket.
Yeah.
James Myrtle was like, St. Louis and Chicago and LA San Jose are what I like to call bracket killers.
Yes.
Which is absolutely true.
It's true. If I
What
can
are
get
the
through this
odds-
first round unscathed, I'll be set.
Forget the other 6. Like, I would love to know how many people will get both of those series correct. I'm going to go with it's like less than half.
You're looking at him.
Whoa!
Sam.
Whoa!
What?
Whoa! That's a lot of confidence there, sir.
Well, you know,
I hope you show that confidence when I'm on breakfast television with you on Monday.
Steve's coming on breakfast television Monday.
Thanks for inviting me, guys.
Yeah, by the way, what's up with that?
What's up with that?
What's up with that?
Well, they wanted a guest with a YouTube channel.
Jesse manages the podcast channel.
He
I have a
does.
podcast
He
channel
does have a
called Steve
podcast and a
Dangle
podcast channel.
And I'm coming on to
Listen,
talk about the
I am
podcast.
not the producer.
Steve Dangle podcast.
I host entertainment on that show. I don't know.
do
I
you,
don't make
Adam?
those decisions.
Oh, it's okay. I'll just email the producer you just threw under the bus. And,
Paul?
You know, just,
yeah, email Paul.
Paul Schmidt. I wonder what you call him behind his back.
P. Schmitty. That's what I call him.
Steve, can I be your
Do
entourage?
you? Yo, you want to be? Now, here's where Jesse says no. I have to be there at 7.
I'm out.
Yeah. Sorry, I was up late watching Kobe last week. And
Kobe dropped 60 points last night.
50
did take
shots.
50 shots.
That's irrelevant. He went out in the most Kobe way possible.
Did they play like really hard defense against him? Like
Yes.
I bet he overcame tons of odds.
No, they were down by 10 with 2 minutes to go.
Oh,
Wow,
man.
thank goodness.
Wow.
And with that 60-point performance, the Lakers won and clinched first.
Second last, but whatever. So
Finished worse than the
the
Sixers.
76ers
Yeah,
aren't
fair.
a basketball team, and they play in the NBA. So the same dude who said they should allow texting in theaters co-owns the 76ers.
Wow.
So we can realize why he's so dumb.
the guy that owns AMC Theater, or not, the CEO of AMC, thinks that they need to make all their theaters text friendly, or at least some of them text friendly for millennials, because that's what are going to get millennials back into the theater. Because they're having an issue with millennials not coming.
That's going to do it. Not the fact that it's free. And
Or the fact that you're going to
in my
alienate the
house.
audience that you have left. With all the people who are not
Yeah.
millennials who are like, hey, how about not be an asshole?
It's funny. There are some mediums where it's like, no, you're not going to change. Just cater to the old people. Cater to
Yeah.
your audience, which I don't think we're talking to on account of podcasts.
No, I don't think so.
Theaters, cater to my parents. Have Led Zeppelin playing during the previews. Hey, mom's in.
Yeah. Steve's dad would poop himself. It would.
Yes. By the way, my dad was the first member of the Dangle family to be on breakfast television
Was he?
back in the year 2000 with the band he was in at the time,
Sorry.
Kickin' Red Rooster.
Nice. See? I like it.
Anyways, that man is also partly in charge of the worst sports franchise going right
That's
now.
right. Steve, do you have a picture of your dad on breakfast television?
He does. I think he may still have the VHS.
I think you need to bring it in. You need to get me a copy of that VHS.
Ooh.
So we could show that.
Do you guys have the archives or?
Isn't that your job?
me
Well,
send
if you
an
can give me
email.
the date, I can probably
Okay, yes.
look up the archive footage for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so happy when I see that on TV and not when I'm there.
That's not going to be awkward.
You're not
at
even
all.
going to see it on TV. You're going to watch it later on a clip online.
I don't know what
We
you're
now
talking
go
about.
live to Jesse, who's phoning in from LibVid.
Hey, can anyone find my keys? I left them on the 401.
Oh, that's enough of that. We now go live to whoever Steve last played in Chell. Deal! Pass it! Are you defense or not?
That's why we play Battlefront, so we don't have to listen to people talk.
Goalie fucking suck.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.